The perfect war machine. The story opens aboard the massive flagship Dominion, where Admiral Kex commands the most powerful military force in the galaxy. The Galactic Union has spent decades preparing for this moment, the conquest of Earth, a small blue planet on the edge of civilized space. The aliens had studied human military history extensively. They knew about World War II, Vietnam, the Cold War. They understood human tactics, weaponry, and strategic thinking. Their war computers had run millions of simulations, all showing the same result: total victory within 72 hours. Commander Rex, Kex's trusted aide, reviews the final battle plans. The humans have primitive nuclear weapons, basic space technology, and scattered military forces. Against the Union's energy shields, plasma cannons, and faster-than-light ships, Earth should fall without significant resistance. The Union fleet consists of 500 warships, each capable of destroying a human city. Their soldiers wear advanced armor that can withstand human bullets. Their weapons can cut through any Earth metal. Most importantly, they fight with cold, calculated logic, the way all civilized species wage war. The invasion begins at dawn. The first wave targets major military installations: the Pentagon, NORAD, nuclear silos across America, Russia, and China. The aliens expect organized resistance, military protocols, and predictable defensive strategies. Instead, they encounter something their computers never calculated: human unpredictability. The first sign of trouble comes when Captain Jake, a human pilot, flies his damaged F-16 directly into an alien cruiser. The explosion barely scratches the ship's shields, but it sends shockwaves through the alien command. No simulation had predicted suicide attacks within the first hour of combat. More reports flood in. A group of farmers in Kansas are shooting at landing ships with hunting rifles, knowing their bullets cannot penetrate alien armor. They do it anyway, whooping and hollering like they are at a county fair. In Texas, a group of truckers ram their vehicles into alien ground forces, not to inflict damage, but to see what happens. Admiral Kex studies the reports with growing confusion. The humans are not following any logical military doctrine. They attack when they should retreat when they should hold ground, and sometimes just stand there making strange noises at his forces. The most disturbing report comes from the suburbs of Denver. A human female named Beth has somehow convinced her neighborhood to throw a block party in the middle of an alien occupation. They are grilling burgers, playing music, and inviting the confused alien soldiers to join them. 3 aliens have actually accepted and are now trying to understand the concept of potato salad. Commander Rex suggests increasing the firepower, but Admiral Kex hesitates. The humans are losing badly. Their military is in retreat. Their cities are surrounded. Their governments are in chaos. Yet somehow, they seem to be winning something else entirely. The breaking point comes when a human named Bob, a retired mechanic from Detroit, approaches an alien checkpoint with his hands raised. The aliens prepare to take their first prisoner of war. Instead, Bob starts explaining how their hover tanks could run more efficiently with a simple modification to their energy converters. Within an hour, he has 3 alien engineers completely fascinated by his suggestions. By the end of the first day, Admiral Kex faces an impossible situation. His forces control every major military target on Earth. His victory is complete by every measure that matters. Yet his soldiers are confused. His officers are asking strange questions about human culture, and his war computers are displaying error messages they have never seen before. The humans have not surrendered. They have not organized a proper resistance. Instead, they have done something far worse. They have made his perfectly logical war seem completely insane. Admiral Kex stares at Earth through his flagship's viewport. The planet looks peaceful, almost welcoming. His instruments show total military victory. His instincts, honed by decades of galactic conquest, tell him something is terribly wrong. The humans had prepared for war by building weapons and training soldiers. The aliens had prepared for war by studying human military history and developing counter-strategies. Neither side had prepared for the possibility that war itself might become irrelevant. As night falls over Earth, Admiral Kex makes a decision that will change the course of galactic history. He calls for a complete tactical review, not because he is losing, but because he is no longer sure what winning means. Deep in the Pentagon's emergency bunker, General Smith looks at the reports from around the world. The situation is hopeless by any military standard. Yet somehow, he finds himself smiling. The aliens had prepared for human warfare. They had not prepared for human weirdness. The real battle is just beginning. The Logic of Madness, Day 2 of the invasion brings reports that make Admiral Kex question his understanding of warfare itself. The humans have not mounted a single coordinated counterattack, yet his forces report increasingly bizarre encounters that their training never covered. In New York City, Lieutenant Vox leads a patrol through Manhattan. The city should be in chaos. Broken windows, burning buildings, fleeing crowds. Instead, they find food trucks serving alien soldiers something called tacos, while humans line up patiently behind them, chatting about the weather. The most disturbing incident occurs when Private Nix, a young alien soldier, tries to arrest a human street performer. The human, a mime named Eddie, responds by pretending to be trapped in an invisible box. Nix, following protocol, attempts to scan for the containment field. When his instruments detect nothing, he begins examining the empty air around Eddie, trying to understand the technology. Within minutes, a crowd gathers. Humans start explaining mime techniques to increasingly confused alien soldiers. By noon, Nix has accidentally learned to mime and is trapped in his own invisible box, while Eddie teaches a basic communications class to a squad of alien Marines. Commander Rex calls an emergency meeting. The situation reports defy military logic. In Los Angeles, a group of humans have convinced alien engineers to help them build a better freeway system. In Chicago, alien soldiers are being recruited to help with a community garden. In Miami, 3 alien pilots have been invited to a beach volleyball tournament. "Sir," Rex says carefully, "the humans are not fighting back. They are absorbing us." Admiral Kex reviews the tactical displays. Every major city is under alien control. Every military base has been neutralized. Earth's governments have either fled or are trying to negotiate. By every measure, the invasion is succeeding perfectly. Yet his soldiers are filing reports about learning to play poker, helping humans move furniture, and something called carpooling that apparently involves sharing transportation resources for efficiency. The crisis deepens when Captain Tim, a human Air Force pilot, approaches an alien command post under a white flag. The aliens expect surrender terms or prisoner exchange negotiations. Instead, Tim explains that his wife is having a baby and he needs to get to the hospital. He asks if the aliens can provide transportation, since they destroyed his car. The alien officer, Major Dex, follows protocol and denies the request. Tim nods, thanks him politely, and starts walking. It is a 40-mile journey to the hospital. Dex watches through binoculars as Tim begins his trek, stopping occasionally to ask other humans for directions. After 6 hours, Dex cannot stand it anymore. He takes a transport and picks up Tim. During the ride, Tim explains human reproduction, hospital procedures, and why being present for childbirth is important. By the time they reach the hospital, Dex has agreed to wait outside in case Tim needs a ride home. The baby is born healthy. Tim names him Alex and shows him to Dex through the hospital window. Dex finds himself strangely moved by the experience. He has never seen a newly born member of any species before. The tiny human seems impossibly fragile and somehow significant. When Dex returns to base, he files a report that his superiors cannot classify. Is helping an enemy soldier reach a hospital a military action? Is witnessing a birth intelligence gathering? Is the emotional response he experienced a sign of psychological warfare? The confusion spreads through the alien ranks. In Seattle, alien soldiers help humans rescue a cat from a tree. In Denver, they participate in a charity run for cancer research. In Phoenix, they learn to operate a food bank for homeless humans. Each action seems small and militarily insignificant. Together, they create a pattern that Admiral Kex cannot understand. His forces are not being defeated. They are being changed. The turning point comes when Admiral Kex receives a personal message from Earth's leadership. Not a surrender, not a negotiation, but an invitation. The humans are hosting a cultural exchange dinner and would like to invite the alien command staff to attend. The invitation is absurd. The aliens have conquered Earth. They hold all the strategic advantages. They could destroy any human city with a single command. Why would the defeated humans invite their conquerors to dinner? Commander Rex advises against attending. It could be a trap, an assassination attempt, or some form of psychological manipulation. The logical response is to refuse and continue standard occupation procedures. But Admiral Kex finds himself curious. In 40 years of military service, he has never been invited to dinner by a conquered species. The tactical computers cannot analyze the invitation because it falls outside all known military protocols. Against his better judgment, Admiral Kex decides to attend, not as a military action, but as an investigation into human illogic. The dinner is scheduled for tomorrow night. The fate of the galaxy may depend on whether Admiral Kex understands the menu. The dinner that changed everything. The cultural exchange dinner takes place in a small community center in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Admiral Kex arrives with a full security detail, expecting either an ambush or some form of psychological warfare. Instead, he finds folding tables covered with checkered tablecloths, string lights hanging from the ceiling, and the smell of something called casserole. The human delegation consists of Mayor Pete, a soft-spoken man in his 60s who runs the local hardware store, Dr. Lisa, a veterinarian who also teaches Sunday school, and surprisingly, General Smith, who drove himself from Washington in a pickup truck borrowed from his neighbor. "Welcome to Cedar Falls," Mayor Pete says, shaking Admiral Kex's hand with genuine warmth. "We hope you like pot roast." The aliens maintain tactical positions around the room while the humans serve food. Admiral Kex expects poisoning attempts, hidden weapons, or at minimum, some form of negotiation. Instead, Dr. Lisa asks if any of the aliens have dietary restrictions. The evening begins with what humans call small talk. The aliens, trained in interrogation techniques, recognize this as an information-gathering exercise. However, the information being gathered makes no strategic sense. The humans want to know about alien home planets, family structures, and hobbies. Commander Rex, suspicious of the questioning, provides only basic responses. But when Mayor Pete asks about alien agriculture, Rex finds himself explaining the hydroponic systems of his homeworld. The conversation leads to discussions of soil composition, crop rotation, and something called community gardens. The breakthrough moment comes when General Smith produces a photo of his grandson playing baseball. He explains the rules of the game to Admiral Kex, who finds himself asking questions about strategy, teamwork, and why humans celebrate when they hit a ball with a stick. "It's not about the ball," General Smith explains. "It's about doing something together. Winning matters, but not as much as playing well." Admiral Kex studies the photo. The small human appears to be running with intense concentration toward a small white square. Other humans cheer from the sidelines. The entire scenario seems inefficient and pointless, yet somehow significant. The dinner continues with humans sharing stories about their community. Dr. Lisa explains how she became a veterinarian after her childhood dog was injured. Mayor Pete describes building the community center with volunteer labor. General Smith talks about his military service but focuses on the friendships he made rather than the battles he fought. The aliens listen. With growing confusion, these humans speak of war but emphasize cooperation. They describe competition but celebrate participation. They discuss individual achievements but credit community support. The evening's most disturbing moment comes when 8-year-old Sam, Mayor Pete's grandson, approaches Admiral Kex with a drawing. The crayon artwork shows stick figures holding hands around what appears to be a spaceship. The alien figure has a smile and is holding a flower. "This is you," Sam explains proudly. "Mom says you're from space. Do you want to be friends?" Admiral Keck stares at the drawing. In 40 years of military service, he has been feared, respected, and obeyed. He has never been offered friendship by a member of a conquered species. The tactical computers have no protocol for this situation. The evening concludes with humans and aliens washing dishes together. Admiral Kex finds himself drying plates while discussing interstellar travel with Dr. Lisa. The conversation is purely academic. No military intelligence is exchanged. Yet somehow, it feels more significant than any strategic briefing he has ever attended. As the aliens prepare to leave, Mayor Pete presents Admiral Kex with a small gift. A wooden box carved by the local high school shop class. Inside is a collection of items representing Cedar Falls. A corn cob, a small American flag, a photo of the community center, and Sam's drawing. "Every place has a story," Mayor Pete explains. "This is ours. We'd like you to have it." Admiral Kex returns to his flagship carrying the wooden box. His security detail reports no incidents, no intelligence gathered, no strategic advantage gained. The evening was, by military standards, completely worthless. Yet as Admiral Kex sits in his command chair, he finds himself looking at Sam's drawing. The stick figure alien is smiling. In the child's imagination, the invasion becomes a friendship. War becomes cooperation. Conquest becomes community. For the first time in his military career, Admiral Kex questions not his tactics, but his objectives. The humans have not defeated his forces. They have not challenged his authority. Instead, they have done something far more dangerous. They have made him imagine a different kind of victory. The wooden box sits on his desk, a small reminder that even in the middle of an invasion, humans make time for friendship. Tomorrow, Admiral Kex must decide whether to continue the conquest or explore what the humans mean by community. The choice will determine not just the fate of Earth, but the future of galactic civilization. The unraveling, 3 weeks into the invasion. Admiral Kex faces a crisis that no military academy could have prepared him for. His forces control every strategic target on Earth, yet his command structure is dissolving from within. The problem is not human resistance, it is human acceptance. The situation reports read like fiction. In Tokyo, alien technicians have been recruited to help build a more efficient subway system. In London, alien soldiers are learning to play cricket and asking detailed questions about the rules. In Sydney, 3 alien pilots have joined a local surf club and are attempting to understand the concept of hanging 10. Commander Rex presents the morning briefing with visible frustration. "Sir, we have a discipline problem. Our forces are fraternizing with the enemy." "Define fraternizing," Admiral Kex replies, though he fears the answer. "Well, sir, Lieutenant Zax has been teaching human children about stellar navigation. Sergeant Pex has joined a book club, and Captain Yex has apparently learned to knit and is making sweaters for homeless humans." The most troubling report comes from the Psychological Warfare Division. Dr. Kex, the fleet's chief xenopsychologist, has been studying human behavior patterns. Her findings challenge everything the Galactic Union believes about conquest and civilization. "Admiral," Dr. Kex explains, "the humans are not exhibiting standard defeat responses. They are not showing fear, desperation, or submission. Instead, they are displaying what can only be described as curiosity." She displays her research data. Humans are actively seeking interaction with alien forces. They ask questions about alien culture, share their own traditions, and invite aliens to participate in human activities. The behavior is so unprecedented that the psychological warfare protocols have no applicable strategies. They are treating the invasion as a cultural exchange program, Dr. Kex continues. They seem genuinely interested in learning about us, and they expect us to be interested in learning about them. The crisis deepens when Admiral Kex receives a communication from the Galactic Union High Command. Other species throughout the galaxy are monitoring the Earth invasion with growing concern. The expected swift victory has turned into an extended occupation with no clear endpoint. Admiral Kex, the message begins. Your forces have achieved total military victory over Earth. Why have you not proceeded to the next phase of the operation? The next phase involves establishing colonial administration, resource extraction, and population management. Standard post-conquest protocols that Admiral Kex has implemented dozens of times on other worlds. The problem is that the humans do not seem to understand they have been conquered. The breaking point comes when Admiral Kex visits the surface to assess the situation personally. He lands in a small town called Millbrook, where his forces have established a temporary command post. The humans should be cowering in fear or plotting rebellion. Instead, they have organized a welcome committee. Admiral Kex, calls out a human, woman named Janet who runs the local bakery. We've been hoping to meet you. Would you like to try our apple pie? The surreal encounter continues as humans line up to shake his hand, ask about his homeworld, and invite him to various community events. A group of teenagers demonstrate something called skateboarding and ask if aliens have similar recreational activities. An elderly man named Frank offers to teach him to play checkers. The most disturbing moment comes when Admiral Kex visits the local school. The teacher, Miss Kelly, has incorporated the alien invasion into her lesson plan. Children are learning about space travel, xenobiology, and galactic civilizations. They have drawn pictures of aliens and humans working together, building cities, among the stars. One child, a boy named Tommy, raises his hand. Admiral Kex, when the war is over, will you help us build a spaceship? We want to visit your planet too. Admiral Kex stares at the eager faces of the human children. They are not afraid of him. They are not traumatized by the invasion. They are excited about the possibilities. In their minds, the arrival of aliens is not a catastrophe. It is an adventure. That evening, Admiral Kex sits in his temporary quarters, reviewing the day's events. His aide, Lieutenant Tex, brings him the latest reports. The situation is spreading. Across the globe, alien forces are becoming integrated into human communities. They are helping with construction projects, participating in local festivals, and learning human customs. Sir, Lieutenant Tex says carefully, the men are asking questions about our mission objectives. They want to know when we begin the colonization phase and whether the humans will be relocated or eliminated. For the first time in his career, Admiral Kex cannot answer. The invasion has succeeded beyond all expectations. Earth is defenseless. The humans are completely at his mercy. Yet somehow the idea of harming them has become unthinkable. The humans have not defeated the alien invasion through military might. They have defeated it through something far more powerful. The simple assumption that different species can coexist as friends. Tomorrow, Admiral Kex must decide whether to continue the mission or abandon everything he has been taught about conquest and civilization. A new kind of victory 6 months after the invasion began. Admiral Kex stands before the Galactic Union Council, preparing to deliver the most important report of his career. The assembled representatives of 50 alien species wait to hear about the conquest of Earth. Instead, they are about to learn why conquest itself might be obsolete. Honorable Council, Admiral Kex begins, I stand before you to report on the key Earth operation. The mission was a complete success. We achieved total military victory within the first 24 hours. We controlled every strategic target, neutralized all human military forces, and established orbital supremacy. The invasion could not have proceeded more efficiently. The council members nod approvingly. This is the kind of report they expect from their most decorated admiral. However, Admiral Kex continues, the post-invasion phase has produced unexpected results that require immediate council attention. He activates a holographic display showing Earth from space. The planet looks remarkably unchanged. Green continents, blue oceans, white clouds. No signs of the industrial exploitation that typically follows galactic conquest. The humans have not responded to conquest according to any known patterns. They have not organized resistance movements, sabotage operations, or escape attempts. Instead, they have welcomed our forces as visitors. The council erupts in confused murmurs. Councillor Drac, representing the militant Krohan Empire, demands clarification. Admiral, are you saying the humans have surrendered unconditionally? No, sir. They have not surrendered. They have simply adapted. They treat our occupation forces as neighbors who happen to be from space. Admiral Kex presents his evidence. Video reports show alien soldiers helping humans with construction projects, participating in local festivals, and learning human recreational activities. The footage defies military logic. Conquerors and conquered working together, sharing meals, teaching each other their respective technologies and cultures. The humans have introduced concepts that our military doctrine does not address, Admiral Kex explains. They call it community integration. They believe that different species can coexist and benefit from each other's knowledge and perspectives. Councillor Vex, representing the Diplomatic Therian Federation, asks the crucial question, Admiral, what is the current status of resource extraction and colonial administration? Admiral Kex takes a deep breath. Suspended indefinitely, sir. My forces have been reassigned to what the humans call cooperative development projects. The council chamber falls silent. The implications are staggering. The Galactic Union's entire expansion strategy depends on rapid conquest, followed by systematic resource extraction. If the humans have somehow neutralized this process, it could affect the Union's ability to maintain its vast interstellar empire. Sir, Admiral Kex continues, I request permission to present a human representative who can explain their perspective directly. The request is unprecedented. No conquered species has ever addressed the Galactic Union Council. After heated debate, the Council agrees to hear the human testimony. General Smith enters the chamber wearing a simple military uniform, accompanied by Dr. Lisa, Mayor Pete, and surprisingly young Sam, who carries a small bag of gifts. The humans show no fear, only curiosity and genuine interest in meeting the galactic leaders. Honorable Council, General Smith begins, we thank you for this opportunity to speak. We understand that your forces came to Earth expecting military resistance. We chose a different response because we believe in the power of friendship over conflict. Dr. Lisa steps forward. On Earth, we have learned that diversity makes us stronger. Different perspectives, different skills, different ways of thinking. They all contribute to better solutions to common problems. We saw your arrival not as an invasion, but as an opportunity to learn from each other. Mayor Pete adds, in our small communities, we survive by helping each other. When your soldiers needed shelter, we provided it. When they were curious about our customs, we shared them. When they offered to help with our projects, we accepted gratefully. That is how neighbors behave. Young Sam, barely reaching the podium, holds up a small gift bag. These are for you, he says to the assembled alien leaders. Mom helped me make friendship bracelets for everyone. The colors represent different planets working together. The sight of a human child offering gifts to the most powerful military leaders in the galaxy creates a moment of profound silence. Councillor Drac, the militant Krohan, accepts a small braided bracelet and stares at it, as if it were a weapon he cannot identify. Admiral Kex concludes his report with a formal recommendation that will change galactic history. Honorable Council, I propose that we abandon the conquest of Earth and instead establish it as the galaxy's first cooperative development zone. The humans have demonstrated that voluntary cooperation produces better results than forced subjugation. The vote is not unanimous, but it passes. Earth becomes the first planet to join the Galactic Union through friendship rather than conquest. Years later, the Earth model spreads throughout the galaxy. Species learn to approach each other with curiosity rather than suspicion, with cooperation rather than competition. Wars become rare as planets discover the benefits of voluntary alliance over forced submission. Admiral Kex, now Director of Interspecies Relations, keeps Sam's original drawing on his desk. The stick figure alien still smiles holding hands with the stick figure human. In the end, a child's imagination proved more powerful than the galaxy's most advanced military technology. The aliens had prepared for war, but they faced something far more dangerous: human kindness. And in losing the war, they won something far more valuable: the possibility of peace.